You're suing all of the federal judges. Yeah, all those pesky activist judges are really getting on my nerves. The Supreme Court agreed to hear this? Yeah, they took it on as an emergency case. And I'm not exaggerating. If I win, I can do literally anything I want. But not like override the Constitution. No. I would definitely be able to override the Constitution with an executive order. No, that's not possible. You're clearly exaggerating like you do. I'm not. Do you remember when I signed that executive order ending birthright citizenship? Yeah, it was challenged by like a whole bunch of states and watchdog organizations. Right. There were several cases that ended up being heard in federal courts, and some of those judges issued national injunctions. But also, to be clear, one injunction alone, that still would have been enough. Yes, an injunction says that nationwide this executive order is unconstitutional and unenforceable. So the birthright citizenship case, this is the emergency case that the Supreme Court is hearing? No, I was just explaining how those pesky activist judges have been keeping me in check. The emergency case is actually us trying to strip them of the power to issue national injunctions at all. Wait, so if you win and judges can't issue injunctions, then who would fight back against a clearly unconstitutional executive order like ending birthright citizenship? Anyone that was impacted personally by the executive order would have to sue us individually. Stop it. You're saying that if I was born here and my parents weren't citizens, I would have to sue you to get my citizenship back? Yeah, and here's the kicker. If you win in a federal court, that doesn't mean dick for anyone else. Holy shit. What about the states that sued you? This is where it starts to get interesting because states can sue on behalf of their residents. So every state would have to sue to reinstate birthright citizenship. And win. Right, and some states might not. But then they could appeal it to the Supreme Court, who could give a nationwide ruling. Sure, but you've seen how fast I can move on tariffs. SCOTUS already gets petitioned for 8,000 cases a year, and they only have time to hear 60. All I have to do is sign a piece of paper. You have to fight an incredibly expensive and time-consuming legal battle. So you can just flood the zone with executive orders, and we can't even rule them unconstitutional until judges rule on them individually. Oh yeah, I can disrupt supply chains, I can determine what medical procedures you can get, I can take your firearms away. And until you win a case, your state wins a case, or the Supreme Court rules on something in a couple of years, my executive order stands. Oh my God. And you're still thinking like a good person. I've already signed executive orders crippling law firms. I could cripple all of them. Holy shit. This is the biggest case of your sad little life. But you're still not bringing Abrego Garcia back. Oh, I don't actually have the power to do that.